Well guys, it's official. There'll be no more gardening for us here. Our very first year ever gardening is now completely done. Now it's time just to look at some empty raised garden beds here. That's right, we have officially stripped our raised garden beds. Chelsea and the girls came out here just the other day and they completely wiped out our raised garden beds, took everything that they could, harvested what was ever left in these beds, and now this is what we're left with here. Sorry chickens, no more really garden scraps to give you guys. Sorry. Out of Michigan here, we don't get much of a growing season. We had from about May 7th for our last frost date till about October 8th for our first frost date. So that gives us a total of about 153 days. So then you need to ask yourself, is 153 days worth it? Is it not worth it? There's plenty of other places that suit homesteading life very well. You could think of the places here in the United States that you could go to, like Houston. They have about 292 days that you can grow from about last to first frost dates. Or maybe that's not enough for you, so you decide that you want to live in Florida and maybe go to the Orlando area. Their growing season can be about 339 days, so that's almost the whole entire year. But then you realize that they can grow almost all year, but the heat that their plants have to withstand is incredibly hot. That's something that you're going to have to balance out with if you choose to go to one of those two places. So although they have longer seasons, I honestly wouldn't want to battle the heat in trying to grow our plants. Then you have some states that are on the other spectrum, super cold. Maybe a state like Vermont. Vermont's average growing season this year was 118 days. That gives you only about 1/3 of the year to be able to try to grow everything you need to. For those of you that have been gardening, you guys understand. It takes that long for some plants to actually even grow. People in Vermont, I feel ya, that doesn't sound very good. In North Carolina, and there's a lot of people out of North Carolina, if you guys watch on YouTube, there's Justin Rhodes, Roots and Refuge, there's Sow the Land, all great channels to watch by the way. They get about 193 days on the year to grow, and that's kind of a happy medium between the two. So with like a place like North Carolina that gets about 40 extra days on us for our growing seasons, you have to find a way to maximize the amount of time you can grow in a place like if you live in Michigan or like I said, Vermont, you really need to figure it out. So what we decided to do was grow a lot of our plants from seed, start indoors, and starting indoors allows you to lengthen that grow season a little bit to try to be able to grow your plants and get your seedlings going to get them the perfect amount of size. So when that last frost date hits, we can try to get them out here and sow them into the ground. Here's our daughter's garden that we did for them. They're 5 and 3 years old and we allowed them to have their own garden. We did it in a kiddie pool. They were super excited to fill this all out, fill it up, put the plants in there. We did get quite a bit of cucumbers and tomatoes. Still quite a bit of tomatoes down here on the ground. Chickens, you want some tomatoes? Don't worry, pigs. I didn't forget about you guys. But you can see other than those few tomatoes, this is all done. We're gonna have to scrap all this up. We're gonna throw it in the compost bin. We have a strawberry plant that still looks really good, so we're gonna find a new spot for that so it'll grow for the next year. And then we have a lot of lemon balm, a little bit of mint, and we'll throw those in the dehydrator and save those herbs so we can get the most out of this. All right, it's official. The kids' garden is out of here. Anyone looking to do this though? We just grew it straight out of a kiddie pool, so just like container gardening, and it worked out very good. We harvested just as long as us, if not longer, for cucumbers and tomatoes. Tomatoes did really good here. So I thought I was gonna throw this in the compost bin, but I think I have an idea for it. We'll let the chickens have the kiddie pool full of soil and whatever's left in there. Let them scratch around, dust bathe, eat whatever they can find that's still in there. Probably just keep that around for next season too when the winter's gone. So they have a separate spot for them they can go and dust bathe in and kind of get all the pests off them if they have any on them. All right, you guys enjoy it, okay? Find whatever's left in there. You see, They have had this whole spot right now, and they've been kicking around playing in this dirt here. This is what the pigs tilled up for us. And now the chickens have been kind of finished prepping it, because what we're gonna do is this whole area right here is where our in-ground gardening is gonna be next year, because we really wanna expand on our garden. The big in-ground gardening area right here is probably bigger than our whole garden setup that we had here, and we really only did raised beds last year, other than a few like container things. We have some grow bags. You see the green stalk planters, but those things didn't do that well for us this time around. But Chelsea said next year we're growing a lot, because we didn't grow enough this year.
Sarcasm there?
No, no sarcasm. No sarcasm at all. What are you doing, trying to feed them? Hey, are you teasing those chickens? Are you making them jump up?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He took it.
He did get it.
You bad.
She got it. Caesar, are you just gonna let them do that? Here we go. This is part of growing life when you get bags. Hopefully we're not gonna really buy any bags next year. Now that we have a truck, we'll get some truckloads of soil. Growing season, more like harvesting season, is now kind of officially complete. Although we do have some carrots that we're crossing our fingers to survive. We're gonna put some garlic in the ground. This is what you're supposed to do before the winter hits. You put them in, and then hopefully to start kind of the springtime, you can harvest them earlier. And we had one bag of soil just laying around here. So luckily we had that to kind of add some height to this bed, put the garlic in, and just get that done with, because it's probably the last thing that we're gonna do here with this garden. If you guys want, if you want to see how our garden kind of looked, Chelsea made a garden tour video, I don't know, about 3-4 months ago. So you can kind of see everything and how our garden looked and everything that we grew. So go ahead and go watch that if you want to after this video.
Okay, we have our garlic here. We got it from Keen Garlic. It's an heirloom garlic company from Wisconsin. And I have 2 different varieties of hardneck garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and slightly peel them and pick out the largest cloves to get them in our bed. Alright, we have our garlic separated and peeled. I'm going to be planting about 6 to 9 inches apart from each other and 2 inches deep into the soil. And I'm going to be planting it down so that the root part here is down into the ground and this point will be facing upward. So I'm going to go ahead and take all my garlic that I've prepped and put it into our prepared bed for it.
All right, garlic's in. The last thing we're gonna have to do, and I don't really wanna do it today, is we're gonna get a whole bunch of leaves, rake them up, and we'll throw them on top of that bed. And then that bed will be set. The garlic will be ready to harvest a little bit earlier than you would if you would have waited till after the winter. All right guys, for the garden, if you haven't seen these kind of things, I'm sure you have, you should get it, especially if you have chickens also, because it's dual purpose. Let me show you. So especially our strawberry plants, they were getting eaten up by a pest called Japanese beetles. We bought this traps to help try to save our strawberry plants from getting eaten like crazy. After it caught a lot of Japanese beetles, it is now a dual purpose and it's free chicken treats. As you can see, they've been waiting for me to do it the whole time I've been talking to you guys. All right, here we go guys. Molting season has definitely begun. We've been starting to see a little bit more feathers all around, but poor Rosie girl, who's right here, she was our broody hen that we just had about a month ago, and poor girl can't catch a break. Broody didn't get any eggs to hatch, and now look at this poor girl. Everyone else is pretty full feathered, but here she is strolling around, and she just, this is how she looks right now. She looks like a turkin, you know, like the naked neck chickens. She definitely don't look good right now, but once those feathers come back, she'll be doing good. And the good thing for her is that if this is gonna happen to all of them, she's getting it over with early before the true cold weather hits. This big area that the pigs tilled out where we're gonna do our in-ground gardening, we're gonna put a huge kind of cover over, so then that'll be ready to go. We want that area to be nice and simple. We're just gonna be able to grow as soon as possible into it with the least amount of prepping possible. We wanna be able to do all that prepping for the most part now, so that when it's time to grow, we can grow. You guys know that fence is electric. Yeah, don't go too close to it. It shocks you. Thank you guys for tilling that area for us. Now you gotta keep clearing the woods for us here. Okay? When you have animals and you're doing a homestead, you have to use them for every single advantage that you can. That's why those pigs, after tilling that garden area for us, that's what they're gonna do next. They're clearing the woods for us. And we're definitely gonna make a video out there telling you guys about everything that we experienced here in our first year of gardening, what worked, what didn't work. Give you guys that full experience, because we've never gardened before, never really had any experience except for like growing herbs inside the house. But for now, we say goodbye. Hopefully next year, we're gonna be saying hello to a lot of new vegetables and fruits and whatever other plants we decide to grow here. You guys have a great day and a better tomorrow, and we'll catch you on the next one.